What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk on the Tundra, your Green Bay Packers podcast as a proud partner of the Gyro Step Podcast Network and the Blue Wire family. As always, I am your host, Numac, coming back to you with a big win over the Chicago Bears as the Green Bay Packers snatch first place from them. Say, give me that shit. It's mine now. Not giving it back. They beat them 28-21 with a game-sealing Keisean Nixon interception. To talk about all of that and much more is my lovely co-host, Jordan Tresky. Jordan, how you doing, buddy?
Do very well. Do very well on this Sunday night. I was about to sing the song, but I'm not
They
going
didn't
to.
play. They give it 2 weeks.
Give it, yeah, 2 weeks. I'll just do the Fox theme, like, dur, 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 dur. And then Tom Brady's like, "This is how I kept my hand warm,"
Hashtag analysis.
and Cletus is just like this.
I forget that's the name of the robot.
He was the originator of why we welcome AI and why we are head first into a
He is
hellish landscape.
he is he's Wesley Snipes in that movie
Demolition Man.
when he points the gun at whoever he's pointing the gun. I've never seen it. I just know the meme. Uh,
Hmm.
Cletus is on the other end of the gun. We as people are Wesley Snipes. Should rephrase that.
Or to put it in a Packers perspective,
Go ahead.
Jeff Halfley is that to Kale Williams on a 4th and 1.
That's right.
Or I shouldn't say Jeff Halfley. Let's talk about the players on the field.
We should.
Keisean Nixon.
You want to start with Keyshawn, the most polarized. I can't speak now. Polarizing player on this team.
It is Christmas season.
It is Christmas. He was both naughty and nice today. Uh,
Mmm.
Keisean Nixon, game-stealing interception on a floater. It's a floater to Colston Loveland to Colquhoun, I believe, was the intended target. Whichever white tight end they have over there.
Yeah.
Um,
They found coal in their stocking.
That's right. As Keyshawn jumps up, snags it, brings it down, game over. Uh, I got a lot of Micah Parsons quotes here, which is a lot of fun because Micah Parsons, for anything other than um, just being an amazing football player, he gives out great quotes, and that's a fun time. Um, I'm gonna 2.5 minutes in, I'm gonna have two swears already. Micah Parsons on Keyshawn Nixon quote: "He's got a little short man syndrome. He's a scrappy motherfucker. He's so scrappy. He's not to be played with. He's small in size, but he's like a pit bull." It's like, yeah, that's one. These are both from that one was from Ryan Wood. This one's from Matt Steinman. Again, quote: "I think people give him a lot of shit, but he's having a hell of a year and he's having a better year than some of the highest paid guys. So I think people should give him more grace than what he's been given to him." End quote. Little did I know that Micah Parsons, like many of our fans, is in the Discord reading messages at halftime of me talking shit about Micah Parsons mid game or about Keisean Nixon mid game. So shout out Micah Parsons for having a burner in the GSPN Discord, which you can join if you go to gspn.info and go to the about section. There's an invite there. Um, but yeah, like what a polarizing game for Keisean Nixon. He has two 15-yard penalties on a single drive that extend that drive for the Bears much longer than it needed to be. I think they end up scoring a touchdown on that drive, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
And just wasn't a good first half for him in general. And then in the second half, he gets burned some more. And then on a nice pitch and catch from Caleb Williams, rolling out right to Olamide Zacchaeus, it goes right through his hands. Like I was talking about it with our listeners in the Discord that like Keyshawn just has to do anything with that ball. It goes right through his hands. I know that you said that it was more of a threading the needle pass from Williams to Zacchaeus, but my point was the needle eye, or the eye of the needle and the thread of the football. The hole was Keyshawn Nixon's hands. Like if he just either catches it or knocks it down, it's not a touchdown, and there's no catch to be made.
I mean, we see him do reps where he's had a hand in making more spectacular plays than we give him credit for in terms of like being outside of the ball position and either his hand extension bats it down,
Mm-hmm.
bad ball placement, or whatever. I kind of view it in that 50-50 sense of like he's gonna win some, he's gonna lose some in those ways.
Yeah,
But the overall message of first 2.5 quarters, and really till the final drive, there weren't a lot of redeeming qualities to his game
No.
because of what was going on. And it is important to remember or to add the context of the second penalty on the first Bears touchdown drive that Nixon had was a tribute to him. It was after he got literally was
Choked.
choked by Luther Burden, but it
Yeah.
is always one of those cases of it's the person that reacts to the aggressor, and
With
if the official sees it in that sense, they're gonna flag him up for that.
but they've been watching him fight for like 2 minutes. Like I just
I know,
the refs are
it's
bad this game.
crazy. Yeah, there are some weird calls.
And a lot of not calls. Like
Yeah,
the Evan Williams interception that should have been. I'm not sure how that's not an interception. Like Colson Loveland didn't have control of the ball. The ball never hit the ground that we saw, and Evan Williams comes up with it. Like I don't know how that wasn't an interception, but alas. And then the Luke Musgrave big huge catch, like that's not in the stat sheet because it was overturned to be an incompletion. What a snag! Like
yeah.
it, if he didn't quote unquote catch it, I don't care. He caught it more or less, and I didn't see definitive proof on the field that he didn't catch it. Besides
Yeah.
the back of that Packers staffer's player head or back of that staffer's head, that was the
Yeah.
angle according to Kevin Burkhardt. But I don't know. Yeah, the refs this game were not fun.
No, they rarely are.
They rarely are this year. So, but yeah, Keisean Nixon seals the game in what was honestly like a questionable call by the Bears to not run there on 4th and 1. Like they had been running it down the Packers throughout the entire second half. And I mean, I understand it. It's cold out. It's a long game. They had been running. Then they had stuck with the run all day long. Like those guys are just gonna get winded,
They ran that play in the previous drive.
right?
That's how they tied it up at 21. Like I we were talking about it. It's like that to me was like that's gonna be the this whole game, to borrow a term from a sport that I rarely watch. This is a total boxing match. It was the
Yeah,
same, like you're working in, like we saw both teams like do a lot of jabs, and then things started to open up. Like the Packers did a lot more explosive plays than the Bears did for probably the first 2.5 quarters. Then the Bears were cooking with grease, cooking with gas, whatever you
peanut oil.
parlance to peanut oil. Look it up for Jimmy Carter. But yeah, I we saw the previous drive of like running down the throats of the Packers run defense, and it wasn't even like they were only starting to get really big run plays into like that part of that drive, like that
Yeah.
15 play or whatever. I think it was actually 17 play drive,
Uh,
and you could kind of feel like, okay, we
the
know the rhythm that they're going to get into.
the
You
final
know,
one we're talking about the final.
their final scoring drive,
Yeah, 17 plays. 17
17
plays,
plays,
83
83
yards.
yards,
Yeah,
and like an 8.5 minute drive.
yeah,
And I just felt like that the hook was going to be 2 point conversion because
yeah.
they could have easily scored on that
They
play.
could have scored in that play. They could have ran the ball for a yard and kept the clock running, and just kept pounding the ball. But
Yeah,
I said it in our Discord that it felt that going for two felt the most Ben Johnson slash Dan Campbell esque sort of mind. Like we're gonna go win this game or we're gonna lose it. Like we're not going to overtime kind of thing.
yep.
And it's almost that same exact reasoning as to why they didn't run the ball. They tried to get, in my opinion, too cute and score right then and there versus living to see another play because they had success running the ball all day long. I'm curious as to what I guess your feeling is. The stats for DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai don't bore out to how I felt like they ran all day. They DeAndre Swift goes 13 for 63, no touchdowns, obviously, a long of 8 yards. Kyle Monangai goes 14 for 57, a long of 9 yards. Like watching it, it felt like more. but maybe that's just because they ran the ball so much. Like they ran the ball 32 times, including 27 just from those two running backs, four from Caleb Williams and one from Luther Burden. Or I'm sorry, yeah, four for yeah, I said that appropriately. Um, as opposed to 35 throws from Caleb Williams. And so I just felt like they kept getting chunks and chunks and chunks. But upon reflection, it's like, no, they were stuffing the run a lot today. I think it was more in the second half that I was getting colored by that opinion because that's where those first down runs of 5, 6 yards were coming, and that's what kind of put them in a good place to make this a football game.
And they dominated time of possession in the second half.
Yeah,
You mean
it was the
like,
Packers in the first half and the Bears in the second half.
and I think when we get in that mindset of kind of being the micro of it all, it's like if you have enough run plays where Monangai, the combination of Monangai and Swift are working inside the tackles, getting just enough to keep building drives, moving the sticks. And then you have Caleb Williams, who, like, there's a lot of to be questioned about. I mean, he started the game 1 for 6, or like he didn't complete his first completion until like the sixth or seventh pass that he threw. He was still 19 or 35. I'm going to say it like, if he can figure it out inside the pocket and be more of a touch quarterback, the things that he does freelancing, like there's a difference between him and Justin Fields doing that stuff. Justin Fields can't make those throws. Caleb Williams can. Has he been able to do that all season long? No. Like they showed the stats and they were making out to be like this has been part of his game all year. It really wasn't until today where he's had success throwing the run, and he's throwing darts. Like I saw a very confident quarterback being able to play out a structure. The things that we've said about Caleb Williams for the last 2 years, like we kind of beat these points, whether it's me or people like more qualified than I am to talk about NFL football. It's that when Caleb Williams is out of structure, you start to see things work more clearly for him. It doesn't. It's not more successful, or it's not as successful as it has been today. But like, it was just night and day difference of what he was doing, scrambling and be able to extend plays. And a lot of the time it was holding on the ball too long. But then the Packers weren't finishing out plays. So
Yeah, that's kind of
it's
his whole MO is not being able or making guys pay for not finishing out sacks and tackles.
Yeah, or and it's also just like the coverage of like there was one play, I forget who it was. It was a really crazy throw. Like he's approaching the sideline, he throws it.
Was it the
It's like
one
a
like
dart.
over the like it was kind of like a not a rainbow but a lobbed pass to a tight end over his
It might have been Komet
yeah.
and Xavier McKinney. He took like he decelerated like just a beat.
Mm-hmm.
And there was enough separation where if Caleb, he throws the ball and it gets into Komet's, hands, and it's like, oh, that's a 25-yard gain right there.
Yeah,
And it
I
was
think we're
just,
talking about the same play.
yeah, it was just stuff like that where, Rashawn Gary, Micah Parsons are trying to run him down. He's been, finds a sliver of time to throw
Rashawn
it.
Gary could not keep up today, dog.
No,
Micah
it's different.
Parsons, Micah Parsons could. Rashawn Gary could not.
Yeah. It was a distinct difference of what Caleb Williams was be able to or felt like he could do with Rashawn Gary bending and trying to play pursuit versus Micah Parsons as just T1000 and all over Caleb Williams. It's crazy.
This is from Ryan Wood. He said Micah Parsons on his message to Caleb Williams between plays on the field. Quote, I just let him know you're not running around me. You can outrun everyone around the NFL, uh but I held to that the whole game. He did not beat me to the edge one time, which he's right. Which he's totally
True.
right. The one where he almost sacked himself. I thought Parsons was getting him, dude. Like
Oh
he
boy.
was he was going so fast. And like Caleb Williams, just being the creator that he is outside the pocket, stops and throws it there to I think it was an incomplete. He just throws it out the back of the end zone. But golly, like I'm not at this moment afraid of Caleb Williams, but I'm afraid of what he could become if he ever develops becoming a pocket passer. Because uh,
It's the archetype that has historically killed the Packers.
but these 2 years of Jeff Halfley, it hasn't. Like they've been really good against mobile
No.
quarterbacks, which is a good trend that to have. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But this is from always pronounce his name improperly, so my apologies. I think it's Dyer Carragher. Um, I think he's affiliated with somebody. Yeah, he writes he writes for PFF. Crazy stat of the game: the Bears used play action on 61.5% of Caleb Williams dropbacks today. That's the most play action used against the Packers in any game since PFF began charting in 2006, and the most
Hmm.
of any team in any game all season. So like, they just don't trust Caleb Williams to be a pocket passer, like a three step drop, 5 step drop, and read kind of quarterback. Like they rely on the misdirection of the play action. Um, Dyer Dyer, I think, also replies to somebody asking how many times he throw from the pocket today, and he said unofficially it's about 10 times.
It felt like it.
Yeah. Um, Side note, unofficially 17 pressures for the Packers, including 7 for Micah Parsons, which is uh, which is crazy, which is crazy. There was another stat I had on Caleb Williams that I cannot find at the moment, but I think like we talked about it on the preview pod that if we just try and let Caleb Williams beat us, I'm fine losing that way for the sole purpose of like he was going to make a mistake. And people were saying in the chat throughout the game that he keeps rolling out of the pocket and throwing these incredible passes that just happen to find receivers. Eventually it's going to result in an interception. That's what it did.
Yeah, I do think as much as the play call is probably gonna generate the heat of skepticism or whatever you want to call it in the aftermath of the loss for the Bears, I just think he got a little happy feet. Like I do think it's more on Caleb than not because you see DJ Moore kind of slipping through the cracks. You see where an opening was going to be. There's multiple options there. It could have been a better throw to Loveland, what have you. It's it's just a little happy feet. If you play that play again, maybe that's a different outcome. But they got on the doorstep to at least tie the ball game and maybe go for two. But you know, you got to get there first, and that's where I think to me, I knew. I mean, we talked about how this is going to come down to. I think we were a little closer in our scoring margins with like score predictions. I think we both thought it was going to be like a 3 point game.
Yeah.
Um, but this is what the Packers defense does. This is what the Bears do. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean they close out games when like when there's little ticks on the clock left, and it's a matter of who emerges. And the Packers, to their credit, like I know it was not pretty for most of the second half, and they were on the field for
A long time.
huge chunks of it, but they're making plays. They're making plays to seal the game, and that's what came out on top.
Yeah. Time of possession 33 minutes, 33 and a half minutes for the for the Bears, 26 and a half minutes for the Packers. So an extra 7 minutes, or rather 6 minutes on the field for the Packers defense. And that builds up, especially in cold weather, especially having to defend the run the entire game. So good on the Packers defense for really sticking it to the Bears today. Um, Artie, should we get into a little bit of the offense? Because I think we have a lot to talk about on that side of the ball, including
Yes.
just a phenomenal game from Jordan Love and Christian Watson.
Yeah, let's do it.
Who do you want to start with? You want to just start with quarterback, start with
Ooh.
Jordan Love,
Yeah, let's do
the
love.
tone setter. 17 to 25, 234 yards, 1 sack, 1 interception, and 3 touchdowns. Good for a 120.7 QB rating. Uh, just a really solid game for him. The interception was ill advised. I just don't think he saw the defender there over the middle, and so he got it out of the way quick. It ends up not hurting the Packers. They don't score on that drive. The Bears don't, and no harm, no foul. Essentially, played very well the rest of the game. Um, uh, some real quarterbacking going on, like to be the polar opposite of Caleb Williams. Like a lot of checks at the line, a lot of cans from Jordan Love at the line. to get into the right play that end up being successful. A lot of inside runs on those cans. Um, but same thing too. Like I think the biggest thing is that Jordan Love sees the coverage he wants on the third down touchdown to Christian Watson on the short slant over the middle that Christian Watson runs away with. Like that's just good quarterbacking. And after that, like I said, the bad interception to start the game. The rest of the game, he played very very well. He was putting balls on guys and made a lot of good catches, like a lot of good throws to make even better catches. He's got 8 incompletions this game. I can't think of a bad one. Like there was none that he just like flat out missed. The Luke Musgrave one is a drop, not a drop, but like he completes that pass, like in my mind. So 18 to 25 there. Like
Yeah.
he just played a very very good game today.
Yeah, I mean his outside of the interception, as you mentioned, like he had a 120.7 passer rating. Like
Mm-hmm.
again, another game with 120 plus passer rating. I just thought the ways that the Packers were able to take advantage of injuries to the Bears secondary were last minute. Um, I don't know if he was on the injury report like an hour and a half before the game, but
Who?
Kyler Gordon, who's
Oh yeah.
their
No, he
uh,
got hurt pregame.
he got hurt pregame. That's right. Okay,
Yeah, he got hurt
so he gets
pregame
hurt
during
pregame.
warmups and didn't play.
Jalen Johnson's coming back from I don't know if this is his first game, but he hasn't played much this
I
year
think it's his
because he had
second.
second game. Um, CJ Gardner Johnson, who they just brought up from the practice, like there's just a
I
lot
think
of like
he's the
makeshift.
guy who got the interception.
Yes, he did. There's a lot of makeshift kind of, you know, rotations and players coming back that aren't always like they haven't played full season of football.
Mm-mm.
Let's just say, and that with the Bears being really aggressive and trying to cause havoc at the line of scrimmage, like Jordan Love is being that blitz. Jordan Love is finding ways to get the ball out fast, hitting your wide receiver. Obviously, it helps to have the play calling be what it is, and
Mm-hmm.
Matt LaFleur recognizing that. But like the, it's good. This is obviously going to veer into the playmakers that Jordan Love is throwing to. But like, God, man, Christian Watson, like we say it week in week out, but like it has turned this offense on in ways that they just weren't hitting consistently enough
Mm-hmm.
earlier this year. And he's just a different wide receiver. And it's not. I don't only put it on the fact that they're putting him in different routes than he was playing. I just think he is just playing way more looser, way more. He's not. He's playing as if he's not fearing failure. Does that make
It
sense?
makes perfect sense. But you're telling me you get a speedy guy who can catch the ball down the field to catch the ball. He's really good at it. Jordan,
Turns out he is.
Jordan, buddy, I'm shocked.
Would
If
I?
you stop running him on
Would
jet
you?
sweeps on gadget plays for the first 3.5 years of his career, and you actually start, using him as your X receiver, I'm stunned. I'm just stunned.
Would you believe that a cornerback caught a touchdown
We
today?
are going to get to Bull Melton in that discussion in a minute,
I
but
know
but
this
but
is gonna fire you up.
it's not going to fire me up. I just have questions on it, but we'll get to that later. Because Christian Watson, I think we said it when he came back. He just makes this offense hum in a way that they just don't when he's not out there. And credit to Jaden Reed this game too. 4 catches, 31 yards, 3 of which were on the first drive of the game, I'm pretty sure. But then a really clutch catch on third down later in the game, coming over the middle towards the numbers on the right hand side there to keep the drive moving. Like they got him involved early, and it's clear that he is going to be a part of this offense like a lot coming down the
2 carries for
stretch.
22 yards too. I mean,
Yep. He had
we
a
make fun of it, but he was the one that was doing more jet sweeps, and it was working.
I mean, like I'm fine with him doing jet sweeps because I think he's a little more shiftier than Christian Watson is. Christian Watson has like straight line speed. Like he's not a
Yeah,
very juke and get away. Like he's good in out of his breaks for sure. Like he's a very good receiver like that way. But with the ball, he's better running in a more or less straight line than cutting back and juking and making guys miss sort of thing. So I'm
yeah.
better with Jaden Reed doing that. But yeah, I mean, what a game for Christian Watson. 4 catches, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including the bomb 41-yard touchdown. Like just it just is so much fun watching him, like you said, play loose, play without like hesitancy, and just go out there and ball because that's what they really wanted him to do. I think it was Jacob Morley say that some people were calling him FCS MVS out of the draft, and then I shared this rep with you pre-pod, and his break out of his route on the it was the first half in a very similar route to the one that he caught the touchdown on, but inside break over the middle slant, catches it, gets like 15 yards or so. Like just an amazing break to get separation from his guy, and it advanced to six. And that's just really what you got to do in that situation. And it's just fun to watch. Like he's had good hands. He had 4 targets today, 4 catches, no drop balls on his end, and it's just like golly, if they can like begin to be healthy, right, and to just like get these guys back. Like I guess like, the receiving core outside of Tucker Craft is, for all intents and purposes, healthier than as like the healthiest it's been this season, essentially.
Yep.
Dontavian Wicks wasn't on the injury report, but he had limited snaps today because Matt LaFleur said that he had an ankle injury that was bothering him. Not
As
significant.
it has been
Yeah,
all year.
I think that was his calf, but this is a like separate. But either which way, that's why he didn't get a lot of snaps today after his big week in Detroit last week. And then he said same thing about Matthew Golden, just working through his injury. Um, but like once these guys just start to meld, and what's the last 5 games of the season, they're really like in a spot to be working towards being the best team that they can be. They're working towards peaking at the right time, getting the offense ready to go, and make up for a long stretch run.
Yeah. I mean Watson just changes the dimensions that we Chris or Jaden Reed playing his first game in more than 3 months. Like we see the kind of east west perimeter game that helps the Packers desperately to kind of give them a little bit more unpredictability. But yeah, just I mean I don't know the things that I'm seeing from Jordan Love and the fact that he throws the first drive goes awry because he throws the pick and it comes after a play where I think there it was like a 3rd and 19 too. Like they got
Yeah,
sacked.
it
Yeah,
was
it
a
was the
long.
sack.
It was yeah, he was sacked and then just a really long third down. That was
Yeah,
not a
and
yeah.
you're just like, oh, it's compound. Like that's kind of classic Jordan Love of like mistakes that compound on each other. Honestly, it's a classic Packers thing of this era of like one thing happens and then the reaction to that initial action just makes it worse. So it's
Yeah,
like whatever. But I just thought the poise that they have shown time and time again, the fact that they were able to do this in a cold weather game, like it's not nothing. Like we kind
it's
of
not nothing.
we've we've talked about it like it's embedded, but like it's not a natural thing to be catching like a rocket of a ball
A, a,
in
a rock hard rocket.
yeah, or to kick it for from 41 yards out. Like
It really
those
is.
things are not fun.
You take it for granted because you've been watching it for 25, 30 years as a fan, and then you like you kind of like have a moment of like realization that like, oh, that's a hard frozen solid leather ball that's getting thrown like 20, 30 miles an hour out of a guy's hand, and it hits you in your hands and you somehow hang on to it, or you
And
kick that same frozen ball 60 yards in the air.
we're doing what Tom Brady was saying. Like I keep my right hand warm because this is how. But it is just true of like not to make excuses, but you have to play with the cards you're dealt with.
Right.
Um, but I just thought I think overall like the fact that the offense was it did have its missteps. It had the turnover. It had some 3 and outs, but
A couple of ill
overall,
timed 3 and outs too. Out of halftime
yes,
isn't the best one to have one. Um,
no.
just not ideal times for some three
But
and
at the
outs.
same time, they played a way more wide open game than I was anticipating. Like we were talking to them, I don't think I was thinking it was gonna be a rock fight, but I thought it was gonna be kind of a grinded out game. And they played more. They had I think they averaged 6.5 yards per play. Like that's not what I was anticipating by any means.
Yeah,
So they weren't playing fast and loose with it. They were playing controlled and taking their shots downfield. I mean, they had ill-timed three and outs, but they got a gift of the weird kick from Santos. It's like a minute or however much time it was, and
Yeah,
Bo
with like a
Melton
minute
scores
30.
a bomb of a touchdown. So it's
You
like
keep throwing this bait out there, Jordan. We'll get to it in a minute. I'm
I'm
not biting.
throwing it.
I'm not biting on that hook yet.
I'm throwing the rock ball. But yeah, just I think it all starts with what Love and company were able to do, but the offense itself was playing a game that did not feel like it was December 7th and it was 10 degrees out, or probably far chillier.
16 degrees felt like 6 or 7 the entire game.
God.
It wasn't even intentional. I just that's the number I remember seeing. I swear to God, it
Oh.
was intentional.
Mm.
Um, but more Jordan Love stuff. This is from Zach Cruz. The QBR is ESPN's analytics-based passer rating system. It works on a 0 to 100 scale. For this, just know that Dak Prescott leads the NFL at 73.4 in 2025. Jordan Love now has 4 straight games with a QBR over 75. It is, in fact, Toyotathon, and this man is continuing to ball. Today, Jordan Love against the Bears blitz, 9 of 12, 171 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 156.3 passer rating. Like, Jordan Love has absolutely just diced up man coverage and blitzes this year. And I saw it somewhere that the Bears 4-man rush is so slow it doesn't get home that they have to like keep blitzing, and that's just why they're blitzing so often. And Jordan Love made him pay. Like that's on 12 passes, 171 passing yards is insane. It's
Mm-hmm.
insane, including all 3 of his touchdowns that he threw today. And I believe 2 points short of being perfect on passer rating. But regardless of that all, like I said, it's Toyotathon. Jordan Love has been very, very good. Um, and here's to hoping that they can keep it going, or Jordan Love in of himself can keep it going the rest of the year. So before we get to some other parts of the offense, we might as well just talk about Bo Melton and Matthew Golden. Either like not both together, but just that weirdness. Bull Melton 2 targets, the 1 catch for 45 yards on a touchdown to end the half in the first half, and I just don't get me wrong. I'm happy that it happened. I am like I'm just shocked that Bull Melton has made his way into the receiver rotation. Like the Packers cut Malik Heath to activate Jordan or to activate Jaden Reed for this game, and like Bull Melton's getting snaps, and I'm happy he caught the ball. Like it's a big touchdown, exciting play. It just is confounding. I don't understand why Matthew Golden doesn't get more looks, and I know that there's a lot of mouths to feed, but he only has 1 target today. I don't even remember that target, frankly. I think it was the
I think that
interception.
target is the interception.
Yeah, but like even then, he's not close in the frame.
No,
Like
he's the nearest guy
yeah,
to. Yeah.
and so I just like he's still dealing with an injury. Matt LaFleur said, I just don't know. And I'm not gonna get frustrated about it now because things are working well and it's small pick. It's like a small thing to complain about right now. But I just can't fathom why they don't use their first round pick more. And it's just so confusing to me.
I have nothing to add to that. I will just mention Romeo Dobbs with 0 catches and 2 targets.
Matt LaFleur did say he tried to get him the ball today and just it just didn't work out. And a couple times that it worked out.
It, fair, but
Which like I also think like again, here's me pour myself a big glass of Kool-Aid again and going back to the same metaphor that I use an analogy that I've used to start the season. They have so many mouths to feed that it could be any guy, any game, and it's similar to the times when they had Jordy Nelson and Greg Jennings and Michael Finley and James Jones and everybody to throw the ball to. Like they have guys who can make plays, and the beauty I think of Matt LaFleur's offense at times is that it can be any guy any week. Like Wicks didn't even get a target this week, like let alone the limited snaps. Like I know he said he was battling an injury, but if one of your top guys is battling an injury and your next three are Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Jaden Reed on this team, that's pretty good. Like you're a lot like you can kind of tank that hit a little bit. But and it might just be a chemistry issue between Jordan Love, Matthew Golden doesn't really trust him yet, which like I get, but I also like we saw it work in preseason and training camp. Like he's got to learn to trust him a little bit. And it's not like he hasn't made plays this year, but like if you'd have told me, I said it this in the Discord. If you'd have told me that Bull Melton had a touchdown this season before Matthew Golden, I would have first shrieked that he was getting DB snaps, and then I would have yelped and enjoyed that he got a pick six. Never would I have guessed that he would have got a reception or receiving touchdown before Matthew Golden. Never.
I mean, it's fair. It's certainly fair. I think it's one of those things where it's not a surprise to me that after kind of the mid-season, hopefully, malaise of the offense fallen to crap, they found something that is working post Tucker Craft going down with Christian Watson coming back and playing better than he's ever played. Romeo Dobbs, like I'm looking at his game log, like he's had good games since Christian Watson coming back, but you know, 7 catches for 10 targets on 91 yards against the Panthers in a loss. It's a far cry to what he was doing, even Thanksgiving, which 4 catches on 4 targets for 20 yards and a touchdown. Like it is just like we see the ebbs and flow with this offense, and your overall point of the whole point of this offense is that anybody can make a play at any given time. I mean, it's why Dontavian Wicks emerging in the Thanksgiving game is important because that's
Mm-hmm.
the ultimate. That's the rule, not the exception. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this is where it does get hard to feed all of the players that, frankly, are probably wanting more looks than they are given, and the juggling act they have to play.
Yep. Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much. And I guess we'll see going forward just how that shakes out. But I would like him to get a touchdown this season. That'd be ideal.
It'd be nice.
I don't want to have that conversation of Matthew Golden got his first career NFL touchdown. It's like week 4 next year. You know what I mean?
It's fair. Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
so more on the offense. I want to talk about the group of tight ends in a minute, but I want to talk about Josh Jacobs first because since we haven't gotten there. 20 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown, including a long of 21 yards. Um, I think that long of 21 yards was the no, 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 yes pitch on third down to on
You would
their
be
last
correct,
on their last touchdown drive.
dear
Um,
God.
how many times this season have you and I on this podcast bitched and moaned about the pitch play and to throw it in the trash? And how many times do they continue to do it? Like, this is a bad process, good result play. There is no reason that play should have worked. There are so many Bears defenders over there that just whiffed on tackling. Like for as good as this defense was supposed to be, and like, as because well, I should say that this defense is good at forcing turnovers. We said in the preview pod that they're not the greatest. Like they allow a lot of yards, they're not good against the run, etc. And I didn't know that they'd be this bad tackling. There were a lot of missed tackles today, or I feel like plays where guys were getting an extra couple yards on missed Bears tackles. This is one of them. They had Josh Jacobs dead to rights, and he finds somehow a seam between the sea of Bears white jerseys and just shoots that seam for 20 yards.
Yep.
I if they don't get that play, it changes the tilt of the game extremely, and I'm on this podcast banging this table, screaming, "What the hell?"
And I mean, I'm just going through the game log right now, or play by play of like that's run at 5:20 in the fourth quarter. They're at the Chicago 28. So it's like 3rd and 2. You are if you don't if you get stuffed or if you fall short of converting a first down, you're dealing with like a 45-yard field goal, with a kicker who has had accuracy problems and a quad injury trying to kick in the cold. Like it was a gutsy, daring move that worked out, but like my God, for I guess maybe for every time that we've seen it get routinely stuffed, which I feel like has been 85% of the time, like maybe it's the one you're due to have a positive regression, whatever it is, but like it's still like how they were working. I mean, we even saw with at times in like the 3 and out drives, like Josh Jacobs gets stuffed third, second long, third and long, like it just didn't work out. The east west kind of running style was established by Jaden Reed. Um, but yeah, I mean that final drive to put it up, basically just to put up the difference between the Packers and the Bears. Like Josh Jacobs was came up so big in that game or in that drive. Sorry, and yeah, I just that play personified it. Even like I know Emmanuel Wilson like slipped on the either play or two after, but even like getting the touchdown was just like it was very gritty kind of um after contact kind of runs that Josh Jacobs makes a living doing. You're muted.
Thank you. Josh Jacobs forced 5 missed tackles today, according to PFF, and the Bears as a team had 8 total missed tackles today. Like that's I'm a fan of that. I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
that stat. A couple of those 5 might have been on that one that one play, but just like really good from him. Really good from him. And like there's been a lot of talk of, and like I shouldn't say talk, but like they mention it a lot on on the broadcast that like yeah the Packers run offense like hasn't been as good this year, like Josh Jacobs not having the year he would like and such like that. Like I think it's not as dominant as it was last year, and like we talked about that, like yeah it's not fantastic, but Josh Jacobs has 206 carries for 817 yards and 12 touchdowns with a 4.0 average, like average yard per carry. Yeah, it's not like the best, but it's not like 1,000 yards is good. We're gonna take 1,000 yards. He had 300 carries and 1,300 yards last year, so he's 100 carries and 500 yards behind where he was for finishing the year last year. And with what 4 games left, right? 3? No, 4. Yeah, 4. Four
Yeah.
games: Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings. 50 yards a game, he probably gets to 1,000 yards. Sure, he won't bust through and get to 1,300 like he did last year, but that's just fine. Like last year, he was asked to do more in the beginning of the season with Jordan Love being hampered. Like he was just asked to do more last year. Hence, he's I don't think he's getting 20. I don't think he's gonna get to 300 carries unless they really hammer him these next couple of weeks, especially if they have a playoff spot locked up week 18 against the Vikings. But
Yeah.
like it's just that's just fine if he's not going to be that bell cow. If he can save his legs and not be as run down going into the playoffs, that's just fine too. But like Josh Jacobs, another good game today, 86 yards, 20 carries, and a touchdown. Like that's really all we need from Josh Jacobs if the passing game looks like it does. And that's kind of like what the balance is that we've looked for. Is we've wanted Josh Jacobs to be like a very good running back and to be able to pound the ball when they need it. But it was always like with the idea, I guess, in my mind, to support Jordan Love and let him be a top 5 quarterback that he is.
Absolutely. I've been scrambling trying to find like stats of like the why they were so successful last year compared to this year, and a lot of it was like Josh Jacobs was just really good after contact last year, and as you're seeing in Philadelphia with Saquon Barkley, if that's not there, your run game is different. Your the different dimensions, the different kind of pitches, if you will, like you're able to throw, like you're kind of it hampers what you're able to do with this offense. So it's definitely upticked. I mean, he's battled through injury this year. He's been on limited snap counts. Like
He missed the
it
game.
kind of he missed the game. It paints a picture of why he isn't doing It's not as well as it was, and obviously the offensive line has had until Anthony Bellton came in as right guard. Like we were openly questioning who's going to be at what position. Um, for 3 straight weeks now, like we haven't had to worry about any of those things since Josh Jacobs came back, and it's been nice. It's been good. I know Josh Jacobs missed the Vikings game, but like the overall point of the offensive line finding what they have in front of them, that tells the story that you're able to do on the ground. That tells the story of what you're able to do protecting Jordan Love and having enough time for him to make plays and for other guys to be open. That it all starts the same way. You snap the ball with the five guys on the line of scrimmage, and if not more, and you hope that they create some daylight, they create some time for the guys to make plays. And I think that we talk about Christian Watson, we talk about the guys that make us go hooting and hollering, and we're making Jeff Halfley faces in
We
the
be
in the
hooting and
skybox,
hollering.
hooting and hollering. But yeah, I think a lot of the Packers' problems have just been, you know, appear to be solved when you don't have to constantly reshuffle your offensive line after injuries or guys are not doing well.
Hmm. No, I'm with you 100%. Emmanuel Wilson, have to mention him, right? A couple of good runs today, including a guy that ran over, including running over a guy. So, um, we are gonna jump around a little bit, but not. We're gonna jump back to
Not
defense.
Badgers style though.
Not Badger style though. We're gonna jump back to the defense in a couple minutes because I realized we moved on too fast from them, and I want to talk about the front
Mm.
a little bit as well. But first, I wanted to make sure that we talked about the tight ends when the game ended, because with the loss of Tucker Kraft, I've been pleasantly surprised, just like how well things sort of work with the tight ends right now. Like Luke Musgrave has made a couple of good plays. He had 2 catches for 22 yards tonight. Josh Wiley has 1 catch for 21 yards on that leak out that was a big third down conversion, and then 2 catches for 14 yards for John Fitzpatrick. Like nothing flashy, but like I think true tight end work, like old school tight end work, where they were never a priority in the receiving game, but they were always around and making clutch catches and or like easy catches to kind of like advance the sticks sort of thing. Like by no means Tucker Kraft, Trey McBride, like your elite tight end play, right? But like that Luke Musgrave catch that wasn't a catch, that's a great catch. It's just a great catch. Like it seems like he's really coming into his own and maybe embracing what it means to be a pro and just being better at it. And if they want to just three three tight ends in a trench coat, Tucker Kraft, that's fine with me. Like if they just want to figure out what spots work best between Luke Musgrave, Josh Wiley, and John Fitzpatrick, that just works for me. Like it doesn't help to have 3 tight ends on the roster, or possibly 4. No, I think it's just 3. But regardless, I think the tight ends are doing good work, and it's been like good work for a couple weeks since Tucker Kraft went down. And I'm happy to see that they aren't just losing production from that position.
Three tight ends in a little coat.
Okay, Chris,
Right?
that's right. That's right.
No, I think that's a point to hit on because Tucker Kraft is your every down tight end or damn near it. He You can play him on passing downs, you can play him on running downs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that same versatility with John Fitzpatrick, Luke Musgrave, and Josh Wiley, and they're handling it well. Like I think part of I don't. I'm curious to see how much we saw of it today because I haven't. It's probably stuff that will be talked about Monday morning. They've been able to replace that with 6 offensive linemen on some sets and playing that on drives rather than 5 offensive linemen having Tucker Craft out there or another blocking tight end out there and being able to kind of you know I guess massage. That's not the right word. Um, I don't know what point I was trying to make with that, but like they've had to be creative in terms of the limited skill packages or uses that you can use all 3 tight ends. Like no one is good at all around the way that Tucker Craft was has emerged pre-injury. So you get creative by having an extra offensive lineman out there, or if you're running the ball, you're kind of telling your hand, and you just run the ball better in in the direction of having more offensive linemen or
Exactly.
blockers.
Right. Um. So yeah, I'm just happy that that position isn't totally gone right now. Couple more things. Back to the defense. I liked how the front played today. Without Devon,
Really,
yeah, like without Devontae Wyatt, I was afraid of like how they would figure out the run game. I thought they did just fine, like we talked about a little bit earlier. And looking at some snap counts, Jordan Riley does get 14 snaps this game. Like he was out there more than I thought he'd be for being signed.
wearing Kenny Clark's number. If anybody else caught that
I
too,
did not catch that. I just saw the name. I didn't put two and two together.
not that it matters. It's the Packers, so
Right. It doesn't matter much at all. I mean, I just had like the realization today that Brandon McManus wears Devontae Adams' number. Like
it's true.
that's more egregious than Clark, but like they're not going to retire
Micah
Adams' number.
Parsons wearing Curly Lambo.
That's right. Um, but yeah, like just a good. I shouldn't want to say good, but I thought they did well today. Like they were doing their job. I thought the edge rushers were doing a good job of keeping contained. Like Caleb Williams got outside a lot, but that's just what he does. And it's not like he got outside by stepping up and then going outside. It was a lot of big looping bootlegs around to then get out of the pocket and make something on the run. But yeah, I liked how they played. Ezra Cooper, Quay Walker, and Xavier McKinney lead the way with 70 snaps today. Having Quay back was big. I thought he made a lot of good plays, especially in the run game today. Um, yeah, having him back is crucial.
I just also want to make a note. I know we kind of the scrambling ability. It more so benefited the passing game because I think you'd be surprised. What do you think Caleb Williams finished with on the ground if you hadn't looked at it?
I did look at it, so I know it's not a lot, but if I were to guess, probably like 30 yards.
4 carries, 15 yards.
Yeah, like he was scrambling a lot, but he didn't run a lot.
He's doing a lot of making 11 yards to get four.
Well,
You know what I
that
mean?
and just running around trying to find a passing lane because
Yes.
he's not a pocket passer. He just isn't. It's not what he does.
And so I think we get into that old school, like, it's the Krusty the Clown Harlem Globetrotters joke of like, he's just spinning the ball on his finger. Like, just that level of kind of like reacting to, like, why can't you tackle this running quarterback kind of thing. But I thought the edge rushers played really good. I thought Kingsley Enagbare, I'm going to probably just tip our hand. I don't see how he doesn't get a cheese from this game. He made the decisive tackle on 3rd and 1 to force the 4th and 1.
Yep.
He was getting after. He's just.
He had the sack
He
this week.
is. He had a sack. Like
He had
he
no. He had the
does.
sack this week.
He had the sack. Sorry.
The only one.
The only one. The only sack of toys. Um, Santa. I was trying to make
I
a Santa
yeah,
joke.
I know. It didn't work
I was also gonna make Cairo Santos clause. That's
because of the
the
gift of
greatest
the
thing.
kick out of bounds.
Possibly, possibly. Just still workshopping it. No, I just thought he played a hell of a game, and that's Micah Parsons is who he is. He's a special player, no doubt. But like, he's not unheralded. But a guy like Kingsley Enagbare doesn't carry the same spotlight and made critical plays that determined the outcome of this game. So, yeah, I thought the front four they played really well. When you're out on the field for as long as they were in that second half, of course you're gonna have a bend, don't break mentality. But I thought, in light of Devontae Wyatt being lost for the season, they did really good things. They kept that running attack in check. That was my biggest problem or biggest key going into this game.
Yep.
And you know, they could have made this a lot worse than what they had.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, Anything else? I have one more thing I want to end with, but anything else from you?
Let me go through my notes quick.
I have
Um,
two things I want to end with, two individual unrelated facts.
yeah. Why don't you share your notes?
Okay. Um, with the 7 point loss to the Packers, the Bears now once again have a negative point differential. They have scored 334 points and have given up 335. So there's that roller coaster again. Um, now, my favorite stat: total yards passing this week from Caleb Williams, 186. Total yards punting from punter Tory Taylor,
I knew you were gonna say that.
208. That is all from us, folks. Your first place Green Bay Packers. Get ready to go to Denver next week. We'll be here with a preview pod on Friday for you guys to take in that way. Thank you all for listening. Go to gspn.info for all things GSPN. Click the About section to join the Discord and come talk Bucks, Brewers, Packers, and everything there. Uh, Go click the subscribe button on YouTube. We'd appreciate it. With the Bears game in a couple of weeks at 7:25 on NBC, we'll be going live post game to talk about that game. Um, but yeah, go check out all things uh, GSPN over at GSPN.info and subscribe where you listen to your podcast. We'd appreciate it. So, like I said, thank you for listening. Thank you, Tory Taylor, for punting more yards than Caleb Williams through, making me a very happy man. And Jordan, thank you.
And thank you, Ben Johnson, for keeping your shirt on this week. We really appreciate it.